Hello again, everyone. Oh wow, this is a loud microphone. I can't believe that. So, welcome. I'm incredibly happy that you all came out today and that you all came to show your support in these trying times with a particularly wild situation that we've got going on in the White House right now. So thank you once again for coming. You know, in all these various movements that we all work in, we always take the streets. No matter what situation we're facing, whether it's snow, hail, sleet, you know, we like it to be nice and sunny, you know, shorts weather, but like, no matter what the conditions, like, we always come out, we always take the streets, we always hold up our signs, we yell incredibly loudly, and all the people join us and make their voices heard. I think that's something to be incredibly proud of, and I want you to all give yourselves a hand for that real quick. On the theme of us taking the streets to make our voices heard, I would like to lead us in a quick little chant. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose power?
Our power.
What kind of power?
People power.
Whose power?
Our power.
What kind of power?
People power.
Hell yeah. So, on that note, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. We have a few speakers here to talk to us today. The first is from Minnesota Caravan Solidarity, a man by the name of Joe Callahan. Woo!
There's people all around the country demonstrating this weekend in response to a national call. We're not the only ones, so that's a good thing. Trump says that the immigrants at the Mexican border are criminals, rapists, and murderers. The real criminals are in the White House. They've already indicted about 8 of them, but the worst ones are still there. And the immigrants from Central America, most of them have ancestors that have been on this continent for 12,000 years. It's the Europeans who are the newcomers. Like my ancestors came here around the turn of the 19th century, and that's true of most Anglos in this country. Now, the media is going to be talking a lot, they already are talking a lot about the legal challenges to Trump's declaration, and also about legislation in Congress to stop it. But we don't want to rely on those things, especially those legal challenges that ended up in the Supreme Court that is very conservative. And the congressional action is going to have to overcome a veto, but maybe that can happen. And so the legislative committee of the Minnesota Caravan Solidarity is encouraging people to contact your congresspeople. Well, here in Minneapolis, our congressperson Ilhan Omar already put out a statement to stop fake. Stop the fake emergency, she says, and so we might not need to call her so much as some of the other ones. And before I close, I want to do a short poem about immigrants. They call you illegal when they throw you in jail. They call you illegal when they deport you. They call you illegal when they find your bones in the desert. They don't call you illegal when they stock the shelves of the supermarket with the meat that you packed and the produce you picked. They don't call you illegal when they eat in the restaurants where you work. They sure as hell don't call you illegal when they send you off to war with a rifle in your hand. They call you illegal, I call you hermano, hermana, brother, sister. One last thing, I came up here hat in hand for a reason. we want to collect some donations here for future activities. This one didn't cost too much. We did on short notice. We didn't even print up a single flyer, but there's going to be a program on March 23rd, so we'll have time to work on that, and we will be printing up flyers. At some point, we may need to make some more signs too. I think we could have used maybe a couple more today. So I'm going to pass the hat.
So before you give all the money to him, we're going to ask him later for donation for the church, for the coffee, for everything. So don't give all the money, okay? Save half for future reference. So my name is William Martinez. Mi nombre es William Martinez. I am with MIRAC, Minnesota Immigrant Right Action Coalition. We are the people who take the street every time. For the last 12, 13 years, in 2006, we started taking the streets, and until now, we are here. Actually, I see a Mojica face, brother, camarada from Chicago. We meet in 2006 when Sensenbrennan attacked us. No, so thank you for coming. One more thing, by the way, I am from El Salvador. I am one these bad people, bad hombres, the people call us, and I am bad hombre, and I am a union member, I am a worker. So first thing, we the immigrants, we build this country. You know, one thing. But the more important part is we are union members. The union people, the union teachers, the nurses, the people in the construction, the people in the office, the union people, this is the people build this country. It's not this bunch of politicians there thinking, oh, we build this thing. No, you guys are there. And one example you say about Ilhan Omar, this is one of the big examples of the people we can put there, and the people is going to fight for us. But right now, we have a lot of people running for presidential. We have a lady, I don't want to say the name, but for me, not like Latino, it's like you have people on the right side in this country, and you have the other political party. It's the same. It's using us. It's using the people of color, it's using the native, it's using the immigrants, it's using the LGBTQ for have a power there. But when these people are there, what happened with these people? These people forget us. So this is the time, not only to take the street, it's the time to take these people out of the office too. So our next people or person, sorry, is Dr. Miguel Fiol. Esa es la pronunciación, ¿no? The pronunciation is Miguel Fiol con Puerto Rico en Minnesota Comité, el Comité de Puertorriqueños en Minnesota.
Buenas tardes. Should I speak English or Spanish? Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, all of you. I'm Miguel Fiol. I'm at ACATU. Sarah is a nurse, and we just returned from a trip to Tijuana. We did a clinic out there. I stayed there 4 days, and we saw 200 patients. And we were looking at our people, and everybody came, and their families, lots of kids, lots of people said, where are these murderers and racketeers? And these are all beautiful people. Like, you should see how they welcome us. And we came with our hearts touched with these people, and we are still engaged in some way to go back to Tijuana to 5 camps, 200 patients, 100 pounds of medical supply. Sarah was one of the nurses. She dealt with the kids, the trauma of the kids, the PTSDs and things like that. But I'm come here today because I'm very angry I'm an angry man, and I'm an angry man because what this man is doing to the Latino people is treating us like nothing, and I'm not going to stand by and let him do that to us. We are honorable people. I am Puerto Rican, and I'm here with the Puerto Rican group. I am mad at him for what he did to my country. He came after the hurricane while we were struggling there with water, with no electricity, people dying, and he says, "You want us to do this for you?" And I said, "What do you think? We went to fight your wars. We are the shell of your mortars. You come to tell us you want to do it for us. No, sir. We are going to rebuild this country ourselves, and we will do that." And I am mad. I am mad. I am angry. Tengo coraje. In my gut, I feel this man is threatening the Latino people like we were nothing, like we were not worth anything. We're people of pride. We're people of Indian descent. We're people who will take care of ourselves. We don't need this. So, aside from my medical stuff, I do have a heart, okay? I do get fired up about things. I have a poem, Joe, you took my stage for the poem, but I'll throw it. So this is a poem I wrote when we got back from Tijuana. A better world for all. A Saturday in a cold January, we landed in a sunny San Diego. Bags full of medicines under our arm and a heart beaming with blessing a lawman gave us. Little we know that this street would change us, that the people we were told were hateful will give us more than those that scorned and gave us. We found resilience, family love, human smile, fortitude, courage, and children, in spite of all, flowing with the joy of living graciously. We found that rejection kills the heart. When a man in his supreme depression said, "We are the trash of the world. Nobody wants us anywhere." On their running noses, wounded men, scabies, chickenpox, PTSD, we found hearts of gold, looks of hope, and above all, carry seed graciously and tender. Where are the rapists, the murderers, those that want to kill us all? We wondered. They are in the hearts of those who give life not a chance, who distrust, maim, and destroy all hopes, and that live every day in the sickness of the soul, afraid of a world which will be kind and gentle forevermore. We are the voice of the voiceless, of the children who walk miles on end, who slept while their parents told them with hope, "We're not there. We're not there yet." We are the voice of the men and women that silently dream with a job, the medical people they need, who dream of the open arms of the America that cares. A gentle, kinder nation we are. Beyond doubt we will succeed. We will the voice they need. We have the will to prevail. We are the kinder, gentle nation they dream.
I just want to say that there is a national emergency. It's a reckless, heartless man in the White House who's incompetent and not fit to serve. And I say we call a national strike until he is gone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fuel. So it actually occurs to me that I've been speaking here in like leading chants, and I haven't actually introduced myself. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Lake. I do work with the Minnesota Caravan Solidarity. And I also do work with the group called the Anti-War Committee. And the anti-war work is actually what led me to participate in the Caravan Solidarity work. What a lot of people don't realize, and that I wish to educate them about, is that a lot of the crises in Latin American countries that lead to their people seeking asylum here in the United States, it's the result of aggressive US foreign policy and military intervention in Latin American countries. Happened in Guatemala in the 1950s, El Salvador in the 80s, happened in Nicaragua, it's going to be happening in Venezuela very soon. And in 2009, under the Obama administration, it happened in Honduras. It is these conditions that, I seek to combat in my work, both with the Anti-War Committee and with Minnesota Caravan Solidarity. And for this reason, when we are mobilizing in the streets, when we are mobilizing against these issues, when we are voting, when we are putting pressures on our politicians, it is imperative that if we care about the plight of our migrant brothers and sisters from Latin America, that is incredibly imperative that we also put pressure on our politicians to adopt an anti-war, anti-imperialist stance to their politics. But enough about me. Our next speaker is a young person by the name of Kim from St. Thomas, who recently took a trip to the border and is going to tell us about it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim. Thank you for having me, thank you for letting me speak here. Like Autumn said, I recently took a trip to Tijuana. I had the opportunity to go to the border and see that international crisis in person. And what is so important and why I'm so glad that you're all here is that this national emergency also came with the comment, I didn't need to do this. And is that really enough for us to say, oh, there's a national emergency? No, this is a deliberate abuse of power that is gonna hurt the most vulnerable in Tijuana right now. And I apologize because I'm getting choked up, but the president is attempting to use immigration laws, asylum laws, to justify this national emergency, while at the same time ignoring asylum law at the border. So, asylees or people fleeing violence have the right to go to a port of entry and ask for asylum, and that's not the case. That's not what's happening at our borders. Young people, LGBTQ people, are being denied this right. I spoke with a little girl, she was 4 years old. She had a Hello Kitty backpack, and she said she didn't have room for her toys in her backpack because it was filled with her clothes. And that was all she had the opportunity to bring with her to Tijuana to request asylum. I didn't have the ability to talk to her mom, but I hope she had signed a child separation form. The comment that we also always have to add with that child separation form that parents bring with them is that it probably won't be honored when they're in detention. That is a national emergency. And like I was saying, this is just at the border. There are other things that require this word, national emergency, people in detention being mistreated, children dying, Jacqueline Cal, Felipe Alonso, who have died while in detention. This is a perversion of asylum laws, and there is an extreme lack of safety and security for people at the border. There are organizations out there like see like Al Otro Lado that are actively doing amazing work and fighting these financial tantrums, these stay in Mexico plans. So I applaud you for being here, but we have a lot of work to do, and if you have questions about going down to the border, if you have questions about ways to plug in, this is an incredibly rich room full of resources to get involved, and I urge you to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim. It's very powerful, no? But sometimes you need to feel, so you know what is going on there. So a lot of people is like, think you can read a book and you're gonna know everything, but this is not true. You need to go there and feel it, no? And talking about the border, Mirak, we have a delegation. We going the end of March. We're going for 6-7 days. So if you guys are interested in support our delegation, we're gonna have a fundraiser activity March 1st, 7 p.m. and seated in 42nd. It looks like we have right now like 10 people going to the border. People like me and different Mari, other people, we're gonna jump in to the other side and talking with the community members there. But actually, it's not only us; it's people from Chicago, from Milwaukee, from California. So you're gonna be a group of people. We're going there, and what you need to do is go there and bring all the information and give the information to the people. So remember, it's gonna be, you have your phone and your calendar, March 1st, 7 p.m. and Cedar and 42nd. Talking about the emergency, this president said, we have emergency, yeah. We have a lot of homeless. We have bad pay for teachers. We have people think you can earn $9 and you can make a living wage. So this is the emergency.
Right.
Now we have police killing people of color. We have immigrants dying in jail. This is the, I am in the church. This is the big problem we have. This is the big problem we have in this country. No, so when people say we have an emergency, yeah, we have an emergency. We have all these rich business don't pay taxes, don't pay taxes right now. But a big example is the president. This is what when people told me, you need to pay taxes, I say back, yeah, I pay taxes for 8 years. No, with the IT number. I don't know how many of you guys know about the number the IRS give us to pay. Somebody have information about that? Yeah, the IT number? How many of you know about the IT number? Nice. See how many people? Yeah, so this is the problem. You need have more information about what's going on. But we receive this number for pay taxes, but we never receive nothing. We never receive the money back. No, but we are the ones that don't pay taxes. But it's not true. The rich people, the people with the big businesses, the people never pay taxes, but later it's our problem. So this is the emergency we have. The emergency is all these people dying. It's not us, it's not the immigrants. Well, actually, when people, a lot of people say, we need working together. And this is true. You can see everybody here. Not everybody look like the same. You see the left, you see the right, front and the back. We are different. And this is part of the job Mirak and the coalition try to do. One more thing, I like to give numbers and date. May 1st, we're going to take the street. We're going to St. Paul. We're going to take the capital. No? This is part of the coalition. We're going to work together. But the real International Workers' Day is May 1st. It's not the Labor Day these people do in September. Remember, May 1st, we're going to take the street. We're going to the capital. So the next camarada is Marco Davila from Morena, Minnesota. So Marco?
So I would second the proposal for a national strike until that lunatic is out of power. I'm also an angry man, like the guy that my friend here said. I'm also one of the bad hombres. I'm also someone who tries to organize, someone who believes that in the case of immigrant workers, nobody is going to come and save us, but we have to save ourselves. We have to organize ourselves. We have to organize, and with the support of all of you, with the support of citizens, with the support of non-immigrants, with the support of legal workers, we are going to do it. I also support the idea of marching on May 1st, repeating the 2006 victory. Hopefully we can make history that day, but we will need the participation of many people. And I only see one good thing about the lunatic in the White House is that he's making more and more people angry, and I hope you will transform that anger into organizing, and please support immigrants, and let's do it together.
Our next speaker is David Gilbert Peterson from Minnesota Workers United.
Hi everybody, my name is David, and I'm a Teamster, I'm an organizer, and a trade unionist. And I'm here on behalf of Minnesota Workers United. We stand in solidarity with all of you here today. We stand with workers all across this country, marching today against this racist wall. And we stand in solidarity with the children in cages at our southern border. Donald Trump, his racist political allies, and their corporate backers created a political crisis at the border. They're scapegoating families coming to our country for a better life. And they've scapegoated them to distract us from problems that their administration has made far worse, but that have festered long before they ever took office. These politicians peddle in hate and division, scarcity and fear to turn workers against one another. They tell us that black people, immigrants, Muslims, and anyone who looks different, prays different, is from somewhere different than them, is to blame for our problems, but we know the truth. The true rapists and criminals and thieves and robbers are the corporations shipping our jobs overseas. They're the bankers that broke our economy. And they're the politicians on both sides of the aisle who stand and do nothing while capital is free destroys our country. Bad bosses and their political sidekicks divide workers by race or immigration status so that they can break our unions, drive our wages into the ground, and make our jobs less safe. But we say no. That's why we march. That's why we're here today. This manufactured crisis is nothing more than a pretext to criminalize our immigrant neighbors, militarize our borders, and erode our Constitution. But we say no. We will march. We will rally. We will sit in. We will strike. And we will shut this whole damn system down. Not just until Donald Trump is out of office. Not just until we change the paradigm. But until every politician, Democrat or Republican, stop abusing workers. And until political and economic powers put us in charge of our economy and our political system. Solidarity, keep working, keep striking, keep marching, never stop, never stop. Our street, our street, whose street? Our street, whose street? Our street, whose city? Our city, whose country? Our country. Solidarity.
Thank you, Dave. Now I am like, see, this is part of the people we saw coming, you know, and like Dave, he have years working in the street, and this is, if you guys are interested and be in the street with us, learn about what we do, please join whatever organization. We are different organizations here. You don't need working only with one. You can work with whatever organization you are interested in, whatever you feel good. No, if you are no member of union and you have 10 people, 15 people, try to organize people. This is part of the work we need to do for better life, and not only in this country. No, I come in angry every time when people say we came in here for the American dream. This is BS. But it's not true. I don't come here for the American dream. I have my own dream in El Salvador. No, the only difference is you guys, the people have more than 50. Thank you for paying the taxes and support killing my people and my country. No, so this is happening. I don't come here for the big American dream. I have my own dream. The people in Honduras have their own dream. No, the people in California have their own dream. So a lot of people say, "Oh, California is from the U.S." No, stopped in 1948. So you need to know everybody have a dream. But right now we are here. This is our country. This is a native country. I am Mayan. I am Indian, and I am proud of that. So everybody, this is our country, and we're gonna take it back. This is what I say. We need working together. So please, if you guys are interested in working, we have a different organization here. We have more activities. We have job to do. We have a lot of job to do. And before I forget, for people yelling me, if you are interested in support us to go into the border, we have a Facebook event. Check there. We like to give us money. 2, we're gonna try to bring a few things to the border. And our next speaker is a compañero Jorge Mojica from Chicago. He's a compañero there. We're working for a long time. He's an activist for a long time in Chicago. So for him, it's not too far here. I think so.
Say how long, you know.
People are going to realize I'm old.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Just a few words in solidarity. The only reason for this national emergency is to build a wall that is not going to solve any emergency or any crisis. Because, of course, we know there's no crisis in the border, and we know there's not a national emergency. There was a national emergency in Puerto Rico, yes, and this administration didn't declare anything. There's a humanitarian crisis because of the homelessness, because of the lack of schools, because the killings in schools, yes, and nobody has declared any national nothing for anything. So the only reason for this national emergency is to appropriate funds from here and there to build a wall that is not going to solve anything. But it's a political strategy. It's to get re-elected. Donald Trump offered a wall to people who don't know what's going on in this country and doesn't know what's going on in the border and doesn't know what's going on with people that make their meals at the restaurants and make their beds at hotels and pick up their food in every other field in the United States. People who don't know any of that is the people who need the border, the wall in the border, who want the wall in the border, and Trump is willing to give it to them. It's just a political strategy to get re-elected. So yes, as we have said, the national emergency is the problem of that guy in the White House. That's the crisis, that's the emergency. We need to get rid of him, yes. How are we going to do that? He's dumb enough that in his speech declaring a national emergency, he admits he's going to be defeated in court. He says, oh, the 9th District of California is going to issue a bad ruling against us. Then we will have to appeal. Then we will have to reappeal and go to the Supreme Court. And then, so when are you going to build your famous wall to stop a crisis? If there's a crisis, you can't be talking about a crisis for months and months and then without, I mean, if it's a crisis, it's a crisis. You can't be threatening with a crisis, with a declaration of a crisis. If there's a crisis, there's a crisis. If you talk about a crisis for 2 months, 3 months, then that means there's no crisis. Yeah? So maybe he's going to start building his wall by summertime of next year or something like that, if at any time. So way before that, we have to put everything in our power to stop him. And yes, sister, I agree. The only way we can make this happen is by stopping this country. We are not going to be waiting for any legal process and for Democrats and Republicans to negotiate something, you know, to invoke the 25th Amendment, which is going to take months and months and months. No. I think that yes, by May Day, we strike. We strike. And I'm not only talking labor unions and union members. I'm talking about every worker we can reach to in this country, in this city, in the next one, in the next town, in the next state. Let's strike. National strike on May Day. Definitely. That's the only way we're going to stop this, because we have to give a big headache to every politician of any party in the United States, because that's the only way they understand. We have to create such a headache that they wake up every morning saying, we have to solve this. So, the way to give them a headache is, let's strike on May Day this year. Thank you much.
So remember, let's go strike. No? But one more thing, and we're gonna ask him for legalization for all. But we don't like 2 pieces of cake. We're gonna eat the big cake. You see what? In Mirac, we say legalization for all is the big thing. Yeah, the DFL give us, DACA give us this, but it's play with us, it's using us. So, exactly what Mojica said, we're going to push the 2 political parties. Stop using us. Yeah. So, what? You guys wait for one speaker. No, we're done. So thank you so much for coming. Before you going, we need help to clean in the church. Thank you to the people for the space. It was a last minute. Thank you for the coffee. We see you on the streets. Thank you. Give a round of applause to the church. This church working with us, working with the LGBT community, with all the organizations. We're asking for money. We're gonna ask you for money for the church. Sorry. So if you have a few dollars, you don't give everything to the caravan. So Maggie is gonna pass the hat. Thank you so much. Again, we see you on the street. Thank you so much.